Hi guys, Blake and Levi here today with Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina on beautiful upper Lake Taneycomo. It is Sunday, January the 10th of 2021, and we're going to do the one cast for you today. Today we boated up here. We're just across from the tennis court now, over here on the south bank. And we're gonna throw some big old jerk baits today. I've got a Signature Series 110+1 on there. That is in the French Pearl paint style, and Levi's gonna be throwing the Juvenile Rainbow Signature Series. We both have 8-pound P line with a size 12 snap swivel holding the jerk bait there, and they're running 2 units. We got overcast skies, and it's really cold outside today. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon. Just about an hour before it gets dark here. This last hour of daylight is usually first hour and the last hour of daylight are fairly good times to come out and try your luck at finding one of them big browns on a stick bait. Nothing officially on the first cast. Fishing reports for today. I haven't heard too many. Of course, somebody calls me as soon as I get started here. Haven't heard too many reports. We just talked to somebody who drifted by us. They said they've been throwing jigs all day up at the dam. Said they did fairly well. Said their hot color for the day was white, and I think he said olive and orange. Oh. That's about all I've got on fishing reports today. We've been real busy getting things put back together after the Boswell tournament yesterday. The Boswell tournament went really well. I believe Phil said that is some of the biggest bags and the most big fish we've ever seen come in one tournament day. Awesome turnout. Winning team won with, don't quote me, you can look on the website to get the real numbers, but I believe 16.8 pounds. And the 10th place team was still in the 10-pound range. I did some quick math on every team that turned in fish yesterday. We had 345.22 pounds of fish turned in. About between, I didn't make an exact count, but between 12 and 14 fish that came in that were probably in the 20-inch or bigger range. I believe the big fish that won the tournament was with the winning team, and it was a 6.1 pound rainbow. Saw lots of really beautiful colored up fish yesterday. And I know Dwayne did some math on it and said that the average fish brought in was 0.97 pounds. You averaged all the fish together. And that's probably about double the size and weight of when they stock them here in the lake. So On average, the average of all those fish came out to be about double the stocking size, which is just absolutely phenomenal. Saw lots of brood stock fish yesterday. Oh no! That gets me going every time. It doesn't matter how many times it's happened. There was about a 20-inch brown that just chased me back to the boat. Guess I need to step it up and get it going a little faster. He wasn't quite convinced. He was convinced enough to follow her to the boat, but not to pull the trigger. So awesome turnout for the tournament yesterday. Couldn't believe how many big fish we saw. The Boswell tournament is a any bait goes tournament. They stay below the trophy area completely. So all those big fish we saw yesterday were all caught outside of the trophy area. So I'll talk a little bit about what I'm doing here. I know I've explained this before, but it's been quite a while. So the 110+1 is a very awesome bait. But what it does, if you don't throw it in a tree. Hey, try casting a little more forward. That current's dragging back. I don't know how long I've been doing that. That's not good. Pulled my mic off. Well, sorry if you guys couldn't hear me very well there for a second. I'm not sure how long my mic was hanging down there by the line. But the 110+1 has a real special action to it. And you can do what's called walking the dog. Did you have one chase you to the boat? If you leave a little bit of slack in your line in between each pop, the bait will walk side to side, and that action mixed with the fact that we've tuned these signature series to suspend, but mixed with that action, the trout absolutely love it, and especially when it comes to targeting bigger trout, trophy size, or brown trout. But it does take a little bit of practice learning how to properly retrieve the bait. And that's done by casting out, and I'm not really reeling a whole lot here, but I'm giving it as soon as it hits the bank, and you want to get it as close to the bank as possible. You want to pull that thing directly in off the bank and get it to drop down that drop off on the bluff as close as you can. And those first 6 or 7 pops, you want to be nice and continuous in case there's a big trout laying right there on that ledge. This is a workout. If you do this properly for 20 minutes straight, your shoulders should hurt. But I'm leaving just a little bit of slack in my line, and I'm popping that slack out. There's no real number of pops each time or any of that. It's just kind of your own cadence. And in between, for me, every 4 to 6 pops, I'll give it a little 1-second pause. Now, if you don't care what you're going for and you just want to catch some trout, I suggest even a 2 or 3 second pause in between a few pops. The rainbows will generally go for the bait on a longer pause. However, just kind of like with that brown trout that chased me to the boat, the brown trout like to hit it when it's mid-action. And if it pauses for too long at all, the brown trout will generally, I'm not saying always, but generally they'll swim away from it. They'll turn away. They want it full bore. And what I've learned out here is that the faster the water is moving, so we got about half generation today, we got 2 units, but the faster the water, the slower, and I don't mean very much slower, but the slower you can work that bait, because the current's also pushing it as you're giving it action. But when the water's moving really slow or completely turned off, you have to give this thing as much action as you can possibly give it, and as fast of a retrieve as you can, or else they just won't go for it. That current does help with the swinging action and just the action of the bait overall. Today the wind is really kind of hurting me. This is a method you can get away with in windier conditions, because it doesn't matter so much if it blows your line, but if your boat's moving slower than the current, then your bait gets pulled to one direction or another really fast. Me and Levi, we have been fishing out here for about an hour before we started the video. We started all the way up at the cable and threw some jigs, and we each caught a couple apiece. We dropped down to a little eddy right down in the very bottom of Trophy Run. There's a little rock shelf and an eddy, and we actually set the boat in back behind there and threw the jerk baits for a second, and caught a walleye. Caught a little 13.5-inch walleye. I just had a bite, something stopped my bait, and I think we caught one more trout back there. The bite's just a little slow today, but it had been a while since I got on here and threw a jerk bait, and you know, this is one of those methods that you may not come away with, you may not come away with many fish, but it's a lot of fun. You can really get into the action of it. You get to see some, I mean, every time I come out here and do this, almost invariably I see at least one big, usually brown, come to the boat, at least to follow the lure back. Doesn't mean I always hook one, but this is a method that can significantly increase the size of your fish. You may just have to sacrifice numbers of fish, and is definitely a way to target brown trout. But I'd say the most important thing is, you know, cast it out there not too far away from you. Kind of get an idea of when you're jerking it and how hard you have to jerk it to get that side to side, that walking the dog action, and then just keep practicing it. Speed it up, slow it down until you start getting fish to actually connect with it. When I first started throwing jerk baits out here, I spent probably a solid month every single day doing nothing but coming out here and throwing these jerk baits. And I'd say my first couple weeks I hardly caught a fish. Started off with no fish at all first couple days, maybe even week. Oh man, what's that, 5 fish followed us back to the boat now? They are definitely seeming a little lethargic today. This specific model, the 110+1 dives, we have these suspending at 7 to 9 foot deep once you get them down there. And when you get units flows of 2 or heavier, you really gotta, if you want to fish for those big fish effectively, you really got to get it down there. Oh, Levi got one to touch it. This bluff from Lookout Point down to the Narrows has had a lot of big fish caught off of it doing this very thing over the years since Dwayne started doing it, and I'm sure before. Two units, you can get away with something that dives a little shallower, but once you make it to that 3 and 4 units, this is really the bait you want to have on. I'm gonna try a couple more casts here, and I might switch over to dragging a jerkbait just for a second, see if we can actually know what a fish looks like today. Wind's getting pretty strong down here. All right. Anyone who said fishing can't be a workout, try this for 1 hour straight. Kind of got to bend over so you don't smack that rod tip on the boat.
I was cold before the video started, now I'm warm.
Yeah, good. Yeah, this is one way to keep you warm on a nice, super cold winter day. Just get to cranking. Alright, well, made it down to the Narrows. That's just a little demonstration and explanation on throwing that 110+1, and I'm gonna, just for these last couple minutes, I'm gonna throw a jerkbait out there and drag it and see if I can't find a fish. So I've got the this is the 606 model. It's the one we're calling the Jailbird up there in the shop. That's on 2.5 foot of 6 pound, or sorry, man, I'm really messing up here. 4 pound leader. Trilene XL with an 1/8 ounce weight. And Levi has switched back to doing some jigging over there against the bank. I do know that a couple of the guys in the tournament yesterday were using this method here, dragging the jerk baits down there, and I think Cal Mansky said he caught 25 or 30 fish doing it yesterday. So it was an effective method yesterday. We had similar conditions yesterday. It was partly cloudy, overcast, 2 units, still the same 2 units running. I think it might have been a little warmer yesterday. I'm not sure. I wasn't out on the boat though, so. My mic is really moving around on me today. I just realized it was loose. believe I heard yesterday that one of the winning teams was using brown and black jigs. I'm not sure what their location was or anything, but those brown combinations have been working fairly well out here lately. I think we wound up with 47 teams in the tournament yesterday. I think I'm going to do one more recast, another minute of dragging here, and I'm going to call it. It is getting pretty cold. Yeah. Oh, yay! Levi's. Did you get off? Alright, Levi's going to show us what a fish looks like today. I was hoping one of us was going to do that. What color jig was that?
Oh, that is orange with brown and peach.
That is a brown and peach jig.
3/32.
With an orange head, 3/32 ounce size. And these fish are just, I mean, we haven't caught but 5 fish today, but they've all been healthy just like that one there. Beautiful, beautiful. Alright, I guess I could wait just a second longer till we get to the end of the island. Seeing that fish got me going again.
Good. Well, excitement?
Yeah. Oh. I think I found the bottom there. They're getting a little busy over there against the bank, huh?
Is that what you call last cast rules apply?
Yeah, that is a last cast rule situation. If you catch a fish, you get another cast. This one?
Lost.
Something else I've noticed lately that's been working well on the jigs is the orange head. I don't know if that's a time of the year thing or just a trout thing. Okay, made it to the end of the island. I got cold again. Well, we thank you guys for watching today. Like and share us on Facebook. Hopefully, if you're interested in learning to throw those jerkbaits, some of that information was helpful, and we'll get out here and do it again tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Anybody gonna do it? You gonna catch one before I turn the camera off? Huh?
I don't think so. You're gonna turn it off and then I'll catch one.
Yeah, I bet. Thanks, guys.